Hi everyone, it's Lorraine Hurst here from the Cooking Good project. Just a little bit of background to the Cooking Good project. It was set up nearly a year ago to help support people with cooking food from scratch. We were going out and training volunteers with Home Start and other people to help deliver community cooking sessions and cooking one-to-one in people's homes. We were also doing our own delivery in preschools and schools and so on. And this is some of the other work that we're doing now to bring some videos into your own home to watch at your own leisure. This is a time-sensitive video because it's about the Sophia food parcel that comes out weekly in the South Northants area, and I wanted to talk about what's in the food parcel and what you can cook. So this is this week's ingredients. It may also be helpful to people other times of year or anyone else wanting to cook some food, healthy food on a budget using some simple ingredients. So let's see what's in the food parcel this week. We've got some orange juice. We can talk about that in a second in terms of desserts and things. Some custard and some honey. So they're sort of our sweet things up here that I'm thinking about how we can use those for desserts, which I'll talk about later. And we've got some what looks like rice. It is rice, but it's spelt. It's whole grain rice with spelt and pearl barley. So for those people who are gluten intolerant or have a gluten allergy, then this is not going to be suitable because spelt and pearl barley have a little bit of gluten in them. But generally speaking, that's a sort of different type of rice. It's very good for you because it's whole grain, so there's lots of fibre in there. And I would have suggested that we make a risotto using this rice because there are some vegetables here, some carrots and peas nicely stored in this jar. We could use those, but we do have a very good risotto recipe, pea risotto on the website, a spring risotto. So I would suggest looking at that. And you probably need to cook it a little bit longer. You have to wash this rice, but I would follow that recipe. And if you want to, because we've got some ham in this week's parcel, you could also chop up some ham and add that near the end of the cooking, as you would use it as you would the chicken that's in the recipe, because that's a suggestion there. There's also some tuna, there's some potatoes, and we've got some tomatoes and the oxtail soup. So what I'm suggesting is you've got the veg and ham risotto, as I say, using the risotto recipe on the site. You could, for some lunches, do some jacket potatoes, which can always be cooked one day and kept in the fridge and just reheated in the microwave. Or you can even cook a jacket potato in the microwave. I think it takes about 6 or 7 minutes, but just check with your particular manual for your microwave. But make sure it's cooked through and leave it out of the microwave for a few minutes because it's still cooking before you eat it. But jacket potato, better in the oven if you can, and that would be very nice with the tuna, with a little bit of mayonnaise and some sweet corn, or if you prefer some cucumber, or just and with some salad on the side. That's really nice. So really some great lunches there with those foods. And what I also want to suggest with the oxtail soup, we could make a nice casserole base with that. So the soup here could be a base for a casserole. So using up any leftover meat, any leftover vegetables, definitely a mixture of the two, adding that to the oxtail soup, putting that in the oven for about 30 minutes if the vegetables and the meat are already cooked. And there you've got a casserole. You could also make that into a Lancashire hot pot because you could use the same mixture and add some slices, peel the potatoes and add the slices on the top on a baking tray, and you've got a Lancashire hot pot. What I'm also suggesting in terms of desserts is there is a really nice microwave banana sponge cake mix on the website now, on the YouTube channel. So if you've got any bananas, they didn't come in the parcel, that's a really nice thing to make. So you could follow that and have that with some of the custard. And obviously the orange juice goes down nicely for breakfast or at any with any meal as well. That's full of vitamin C and very good for us. With the tomato sauce and the potatoes, what I wanted to make today was to make some potato dumplings. They're called gnocchi in Italian, and also what we call them, but basically what gnocchi is a small potato dumpling. And to make those, kids love them. They're very easy to make, very tasty, and we can make an easy sauce, tomato sauce, and there's lots and lots of things that tomato sauces can go with. So once you've made a tomato sauce, you could freeze half of that and use it with other things. So let's get cooking. Hi everyone, we're going to make the pasta sauce. So we just need a little bit of olive oil in a pan, about a tablespoon of olive oil, and we're going to put that on some heat. That's been on for a couple of seconds, and what we first need to do is to fry our onion on that heat. I need to turn that up. So our onion is cooking nicely here. When that's softened just a little bit, we can add some of our other vegetables. So here we've got some grated courgette and grated carrot. Sometimes the food parcel has some carrot in it, so that would be useful. So when those vegetables are soft, we can add our tomato sauce. Sound effects. And mix that in. Now I'm going to add some oregano to this one. You can add mixed herbs, oregano, rosemary, basil, any of those, and also 2 cloves of garlic that have been grated in a very fine grater. And that is mostly our sauce. We do need some water adding to this, some extra water, but basically that's our tomato sauce. So we're going to leave that to cook a little bit while we make the gnocchi. Now the gnocchi, which are the potato dumplings, are made with some flour and some potato and an egg, essentially, and some salt and pepper. That's it. So the potatoes that we had earlier, we need to cool them down, take the skins off them, and then we need to mash them a little bit. Now I'm mashing these in the sieve. You don't need to do that, you can mash them in a bowl. So we are in the process of taking the lumps out of our potato, and what we do need to do is add an egg. So 1 egg, I've cracked that egg and put it in a little bowl. We're adding that. And we also need to add this. In this case, if you've got 200 grams of potato, you're going to add 200 grams of flour. I'm going to leave a tiny bit for the next stage, but it's around that 200 grams. I'm going to mix that together with our fork, or we can get a spoon. I might revert to a spoon in a minute, and we're just going to season it with some salt and pepper. The other way around even, salt, pepper and salt. Okay, so that is our gnocchi mixture, and we're going to mix that together. We need to get messy with our hands soon and make this into a dough. When we've got almost a dough, we need to, dough like bread dough, we need to put some flour on our worktop and knead our dough like it's bread or pastry, like you're making pastry. So let's start to do that. Put this together. So what we're doing with this is we're going to break up our mixture into about 3 different portions. Pop these on the side, and working with one of them, we're going to roll it into a kind of long caterpillar. There we are. Snakes. We've got to do, obviously, make a few of those. Okay, so might seem like it takes a long time, but it's not too bad. Okay, so what we need to do with this is make our little dumplings, and we need a pan of hot water to put them in. So we're going to cut them into very, very small little pieces, which we're going to turn into our gnocchi. So with our little pieces, we're going to roll those, and we can just put them in the pan like that. Just roll them, make them into a little ball like that, get them ready to go in the pan. I'm going to put them in a dish, in a clean dish, or we can actually roll the back of a fork to give it a little bit of texture onto the gnocchi, so it looks very professional. So we'll get that one ready and make some more. The kids can just roll them like that, that's absolutely fine, and put the little mark through. So now we need to have a pan of boiling water, which I've got here, and we've got our gnocchi, our little potato dumplings that are all ready to go in the pan, and we're going to drop those in. Now, they sink to the bottom, and that's absolutely great. Now, the clever thing with this, compared to pasta, is that you know the gnocchi is ready when it rises to the top of the pan. There we go. I'm using about 1/3 of the mixture here in one go. You need to do them in batches. Right, our gnocchi is starting to rise to the top of the pan, as you can see here. And they're all starting to rise to the top now. And we can take them out and put them straight into a bowl. Well, we'll put them in a bowl ready to mix with our sauce. We're going to use a little bit of this water, hot water, for our sauce. So I need that to be a little bit more liquidy. A little bit more there. Always use stock if you want to, which has been used in the other recipes. Use a stock cube with about 100 millilitres of water if you want a little bit more flavour in that sauce, but it should be quite flavoursome as it is. A teeny bit more. Needs to be quite a runny sauce to go with our gnocchi, and we have got extra veg in here. Okay, and then we add our gnocchi to our pan. Mix that all together, and we've got a tomato and gnocchi dish. We can serve that once it's been combined in the dish. And always great with this recipe to add a little cheese, so you can use Parmesan or any cheese that you like. Very good.